He's sort of like going, oh, well, I think we have our winner.
Sound check.
Well, g'day there. Welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan, for those of you who have not met me before, and there may be a few of you because today we're reviewing a new voice here at the channel. We've never had listened to Carmelle Collado before. I do hope that's how I pronounce her last name. Carmelle is a quite a young singer, and she has just recently won the School Showdown Grand Finals. This was back at the beginning of 2025. At the time of this performance, she's approximately 15, 16 years of age. And so she's young, is what I'm getting at here. And that's of significance because this is an Aretha Franklin medley that she's going to perform at this, what is, I believe, a singing competition in the Philippines. I think we all know just how big a challenge covering Aretha Franklin is at any age, let alone doing it in your kind of mid-teens. Let's dive in and have a listen to this performance. Yeah, really, I think there'll be some things that we can observe and learn and take away from it. Here we go.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. When I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. For the day I met you, life was so unkind. So the key to my peace of mind. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby.
I think the first takeaway from me is that there is that firstly, she's doing a really good job of emulating the sound and of Aretha Franklin. You know, she's got that really forward-focused placement to what she's doing. And this may come across as controversial for some of you who are big Carmelle fan. Carmelle, I want to get her name right. Carmelle fans. There, and again, I've only ever listened to Carmelle in this performance. I've not heard a wider variety of her work. I've only listened to her sing in this recording. And so I'm only making comments to this recording. Important for us to contextualize it. But I do get a sense that it is purely a mimicking. And I say that respectfully because if that's all it is, it's still pretty good, right? Like it's not an easy thing to emulate an Aretha. But I wonder whether there is still, well, not wonder, I think there is still plenty of time for Carmelle to develop her own sound. And in the development of her own sound, I think if she was to do this, for example, let's say she was to do this again in 5 years, not long, but long enough for her to be establishing her own vocal identity And it's not to say that she doesn't have any vocal identity now, but I think it is young. And that's to be expected. She's 15 or 16 years of age. She's a very, very, very young woman. And there is yet time for her to mature as a human being and as a singer. And as we go along, I'm more than happy for you to, to leave your comments. But I want you to listen for that. Can you detect that youthfulness in that identity? I think already I can. Let's have a look at that note in Melandine.
You make me feel so alive.
And so we're getting up to what is it, a G5 there. It's not a small note, like it's a high note. But while we're here, let's have a look at the pitch accuracy. You can see here this is a truly live rendition. This has not been fixed in post. This has been captured as she's done it. And we see that by the fact that she's actually overshot that G5. If we were to come to here and crudely correct that. So you can see that the note is actually just a smidge sharp. Not a big deal, particularly in a live setting where the acoustic reverberance of the space and the live speakers and everything, it all blends in beautifully. We can also see it if we come just down here a smidge. Have a look at the line just through here, the way the voice rises. You can see that the way her vibrato is moving, and that's that squiggly line as it moves up at an angle. If we correct that, so there's such minor discrepancies in the pitch accuracy that it does show us that this is almost certainly not been corrected in post. Great. I mean, it's great. I want to keep coming back to this is Aretha Franklin. It's so hard. It's not easy to do. Can I, early on, I mean, this is one of the temptations when we're doing something big like Natural Woman. I've never sung it, I have to admit. But when I'm working with singers who are, the temptation is to become physically activated and engaged and to start lending effort to the voice. That becomes problematic because we start to load up the larynx starts to labour under that tension, and it can start to really lock up. I want to really, give credit to Carmelle here. She's remaining relatively physically balanced and rather neutral, it has to be said. But that is working in her advantage. We're only 1 minute 30 in, and the whole piece goes for, over 6 minutes. So that's the point I'm making is she's got a long way to go in this medley. It's so important that she stays really balanced and keeps everything in check.
Like a natural.
let's have a let's. I like that section. That's cool. The way she moved the voice. We'll have a look at that in Melodyne, just so you can see the movement that we're getting in the voice. Not easy to do, right? And yet she's pretty much on the mark for those notes, yeah? Up from the G flat, what is it, a G flat 4, up to the D's here. Not easy. She's starting to settle into the performance now, isn't she? You can see her starting, and it's quite normal, really. I find that I need 1 or 2 songs, in a concert set to settle in, for the nerves to just start to, be that little bit more managed, and to start to feel like you're getting into the performance groove. I think she's in the musical groove from the get-go, but from the performance side of things, she's just starting to give us a little bit more, connection with the audience. Again, I keep going back to it. This is a young performer. She is 15, 16 years of age. I don't know a lot. I would dare say she's had a lot of performance experience prior to this, but I've not seen her. Yeah, you can see her starting to work the audience. I like the way she worked with the band there. I think young performers all too quickly can forget in a live setting with a live band that they can forget that they are a part of an ensemble. And I know that in this competition, it's all about the singer. The band is really simply there as a live backing track, if you will. But I like the fact that she walked over. She's engaged with them, and that's going to continue to cement that sense of connection to the groove. Something that I would want us to be careful of for our own singing, and I'm going to point it out because it is important for the development of our own voices, but I'm not going to point it out as being incorrect for this performance. There's a lot of vocal growl going on. I think that's very acceptable in this performance by virtue of the fact that she's covering Aretha Franklin, and we get a lot of, growl from Aretha. And so it's completely fine to hear that. For us, though, you want to be careful and measured in how much, if you're not simply, emulating, doing a tribute cover of someone like Aretha, if that's not what you're doing, be careful not to overuse it. Firstly, because it can become a bit much, firstly. And secondly, it can be quite taxing on the voice. It's a high-cost item. And if it's done with the voice while the voice is under too much load, it can also sort of lead to wear and tear. So just be mindful of that in your own singing.
You told me to leave you alone. My father said, come on home. My doctor said, take it easy. Oh, but your loving isn't not too strong.
She doesn't quite get that little run there. In the live setting, remember, there's a funny thing with the analysis. We're stopping, going back, having listened. Yes, she did get that. No, she didn't get that. In a live environment, when, you know, in the audience is watching right there, you are unlike, particularly the audience at large, are unlikely to hear any inaccuracies in this performance. They're going to hear it as a bang-on performance because it is. But in the analysis process, we get to start, stop, and listen to it again. Have a listen to the run. It's not quite there.
My father said, come on home. My doctor said, take it easy. All about your loving it. Take it easy.
Yeah, so that...
Take it easy. All about...
So not quite right where, you know, but again, that's a pretty fast run.
My doctor said, take it easy. All about your loving is not too strong. I'm ready to you.
The audience, the judges are enjoying it. So she's got a shift now in her feel.
Ain't no way for me to love you.
Voice just caught there a little bit. And that's not surprising because the voice has been going hell for leather the last two songs, and now the voice has to shift into a much lighter mechanism, and it can be quite difficult for the voice to make that mechanical shift, release the tension. One way that you could do that and help the voice to do that is to do quite a bit of swallowing at that moment just to release. Maybe do some quiet hum off mic and just let the voice settle a bit so that it doesn't want to muscularly grab.
Me to love you. If you want, let me.
That's a pretty tone.
Ain't no way for me to give you all of me. If you won't let me give all of me.
Yeah, I mean, she missed that first bit, but dearie me, she really has gone to a very lengthened, dominant tone, and the voice is clear. And there's a little bit of aspiration in there, which, you know, is not an unusual thing for a female voice in their mid-teens to have a little bit of particularly in the upper register, just have a little bit of aspiration. It's where the arytenoid cartilage just doesn't come together with full adduction, and it's purely a mechanistic maturity thing. But you know, it's pretty tone. Let's just bring it back and have a listen to that.
Ain't no way for me to give you all of me. If you won't let me give all of me.
She got that run. Well done.
Tell me. Stop trying to be someone you're not. How cold and cruel is the pain? Way too much for wanting out.
I made the mention about overusing the growl, and notice that was the first point that I'd heard growl in this part of the song, which does suggest to me she is using it stylistically. She's using it appropriately. And again, a good leaf to take out of her book is that appropriate use and application of the growl. You know, don't overuse it. Use it sparingly when it's needed. Can I find that guy? That was funny. Let's see if I can find him. He's sort of like going, oh, well, I think we have our winner. It's like, well, there you go. That's sealed it for him, I think. That in that moment he's gone, I'm out. Give it to her. What note is she getting to there? It's impressive. So we're up around, I don't know if that's supposed to be, is that supposed to be? I think it might be supposed to be a B flat 5, and which is high. She's getting right up there, right up there. Wow, such an impressive young voice. I mean, that is impressive, right? I don't know how you could disagree with me on that, but if you do, you can leave your comments. I think it's an impressive voice. I do think it's a young voice in a young performer. I do stand by the early comment that I think there is room for her to grow into her own vocal identity. But that's age appropriate, you know. Like we're certainly not making that observation from the standpoint of, you know, she's no good. I mean, she's very good, and I look forward to seeing perhaps where she continues to develop in her performance overall. Did you enjoy that? I hope you did. Leave your comments below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do these analyses every week, sometimes twice a week, and so I'd love for you to join us and join in the conversation. We are a Learn to Sing channel here, and so our approach to these analysis videos is through the lens of learning to sing. So if that's your thing, then, you know, come along and sing. And yes, the dad jokes are never ending as well. I apologise. I look forward to seeing you in the next Voice Essentials vocal analysis. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.